Hey guys, happy Sunday. And it's not Wednesday. My apologies for not getting an upload up on Wednesday. I was sorting out some old business mess down in Melbourne. So yes, we're up to episode 3 of season 1 of Search for Hurt, which we will upload now. And yeah, just a big shout out to everyone who's watched so far. We've had tens of thousands of views across Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, we'll keep punching them out. I'll try to do them a bit quicker. I know I say that probably every episode, but life gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, enjoy episode 3.
I think that's what you call the hurt box.
Recently, Matt and Elyse met with Lisa Batchen-Smith, an amazing female ultramarathon runner, and then set them off on their new challenge.
Lisa Batchen-Smith, who knows everyone in the running scene over in the US, got a call from one of her students who needed someone to pace them for an ultramarathon down in Texas. And Lisa asked us.
Again, the team head from Wyoming, and this time to Huntsville, Texas, for a race called the Rocky Raccoon.
This is Alfonso.
Hi, how are you?
Alfonso Chan, a former submariner and member of the Dallas Navy League's board of directors. He's a family man and currently working as a busy and successful lawyer in Huntsville, Texas.
Well, tomorrow will be the start of the 2012 Rocky Raccoon. And the Rocky Raccoon includes 2 races, a 50-mile race and a 100-mile race, and I'll be running the 100-mile race.
The Rocky Raccoon is a 100-mile ultramarathon held annually in Huntsville State Park, Texas. You run from night to day to night in terrain that's unforgiving, especially in wet conditions.
I think the fastest I've ever run a marathon is in about 4 hours and 30 minutes, just to beat or meet Oprah Winfrey's running time for a marathon. I came close to meeting my goal for a 100-miler, but never quite there. Either some type of injury or physical issue would get in the way.
Matt and Elyse are here to pace Alfonso through the race to keep his motivation up and to gain some expert advice off Matt, especially through the night, as Alfonso is about to explain.
Because I'll start to hallucinate.
Yeah, good luck with that, Matty.
When I did a 100-miler, it was next to a canal, and I started to think that there were ships, like large battleships, coming at me on the canal, and I was wondering how do they fit in the canal. And then sometimes I would think there were animals looking at me and bats flying around.
I don't know if I'm going to be safe out there tomorrow with him.
Right now, you're about to get an insight into how an average human being can push their limits mentally and physically like I haven't seen before.
Early morning start for the team at the Rocky Raccoon race. So far, so good.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How you feeling?
Oh, great.
Alfonso's just a regular guy, has 2 kids, owns a big law firm, super busy guy, probably works 110 hours a week, and it's his thing to be able to push himself, but it really reflects that even though everyone has a busy life, you can still do things which matter to you, and Alfonso just knows how to hurt.
So this is it. It's a wet morning, but this is Alfonso's chance to finally complete an ultramarathon.
So we've been flown all the way to Texas. We're ready to help Alfonso get through this hardcore ultramarathon, and it starts.
And the gun goes off.
And he just strolls by, just walking.
Let's go, mate. Well, we'll see you in a few hours. So we were talking after Alfonso walked on by, and Elyse sort of didn't understand why, and I'm like, it's 168 Ks. It's like from Sydney to Newcastle, if that makes any sense to anyone. It's miles, so you can't go out too hard. Good work, Alfonso. Mate, go through, far corner on the other side, far corner.
About 5 hours into the race, and there seems to be something concerning Alfonso.
I have fallen like 3 or 4 times.
So when we're up the road, we'll find it.
Okay. That nail's gonna come off later.
I knew he was really bummed because he'd tried to do 100 miles sort of 3 or 4 times before, and he had big goals to try to finish this one. But as soon as his feet started to get trashed, where the sole of his foot was actually coming away from the rest of the foot, I was like, oh man, it's not that good. But I was trying to keep the mood pretty positive and, you know, push on, mate, we'll be right. Cool, we'll rip it off later when it's ready to come off. Is it ready to come off now? No, we'll do it later.
She should be in any minute.
If you have a nap, do you have some paper towels?
We will. Do you want to rip it off now or what? Nah, rip it off later when it's ready. Yeah, what's up? Talk.
It feels better.
Yeah.
I've been trying to run on little upgrades, so it doesn't put the pressure on the quads.
The time up that you're losing on the downhills, you'll make it up on the flats and the uphills, you know? Walk, run, and just take it easy on the downs.
Yeah.
Some advice from Matt, and everything is going reasonable. But the day turned to night, and as predicted, the demons came out.
The night time just brought out, yeah, some really weird stuff. Like, he was so messed up. Have you got anything to say to the camera right now?
I'm suffering quite a bit right now.
Like, I was a little bit concerned, but then I'm like, I've never seen someone so in the hurt box as much as this before. It was just insane, but he just kept going.
And questioning a lot of things.
What are you feeling?
I don't feel good.
No.
No.
Did you hurt your knee?
Yeah, my knee really hurt.
Yeah.
Cut with some water.
Yeah, man.
Alfonso's in bad shape, but Matt still has his job of looking after him.
To make time pass a little bit quicker, I was sort of putting some things out that he'd trade off to get out of the situation that he was in, and there were some pretty big calls that he was making that I'd do this to get out of here right now, and I'm like, wow, you're really hurting right now.
Well, it's quite an exceptional experience to feel this.
So we've travelled about another 2 miles. We've seen, how many drop bears do you reckon we've seen, Alfonso?
About 4.
About 4 drop bears.
I'm so weak that even if Karen handed me a gun to put me out of my misery, I couldn't even lift it and pull the trigger.
So not only were Alfonso's pads of his feet coming away from the rest of his foot, and that's just disaster there, but after about 80 kilometres, he'd been out on the track so long that, you know, his nutrition might not have been spot on, so his magnesium levels, all of his muscles were seizing up.
As my quads have seized up, and I have a hard time with the range of motion, and my left knee shot, inflamed, so I'm waiting for the Tylenol to kick in so I can at least hump it.
Eventually, after about 85, 90 kilometres, you could have crawled faster than we were walking. His muscles were just that seized up, and once you get to that point, you can't come back from it. It's all about what happens before that gets you to the finish, and yeah, just obviously it wasn't his day.
That's it. After 63 miles, over a little over 100 kilometers, my knees are shot, and I'm having a very, very difficult time making any way. My progress has been pretty limited. Took me about an hour and a half to slog through 3 miles. I'm not able to extend. I'm not even down to a shuffle. So that's really it's disappointing.
You cool, mate?
But that's it.
All right.
Matt finishes up doing some heavy training in the U.S.A. And after pacing Alfonso through an ultramarathon, their long honeymoon is over.
So what an adventure. The whole trip in the States was amazing. We met so many cool people.
Got to go skiing.
But it was time to go back home.
So it's farewell USA and back down under, where a surprise welcome present awaits.
So he doesn't know we've done this for him, but yeah, so we're going to go give him a bit of a surprise. Good to see you, mate.
Too.
Oh, we got a little bit of a gift for you.
Hey, look out. Oh, look at that.
So this is
my
going to
God.
be your accommodation for the next 4 or 5 months.
You're joking. How good does it look?
So you can thank the best science boys, mate. They worked through the night wrapping it up for you.
So who paid for this?
Who do you reckon? I stole it.
Oh, sugar. Got dirt on the floor.
I don't think that'll be the first or the last time there'll be dirt on the floor, mate.
Oh, isn't it good, eh?
With transport and living quarters delivered in one big black package, the crew set up some GoPro cameras to capture any incidental events that might happen inside the camper.
There you go, eh?
So the journey begins. The team heads south to start the most exciting adventure of their lives.
So I don't think we realised quite how much driving was going to be involved with Search4hurt. So to pass the time, Matt has this little game called the windmill game.
Windmill.
And it's stupid.
Windmill. Oh, yeah. How do you see the windmill? Yes. Windmill.
It's stupid.
Windmill, does that one count? Because it is the shaft.
While the team amuse themselves, news is coming through of some serious rain and flooding ahead.
So we're just down near Goulburn, and they've had like a year's worth of rain in the last couple of days, and we're on some pretty high ground and it's still like flooding pretty bad. Yeah, the freeway could go under in the next few days.
The worries of flooding soon get trumped by a bigger issue that might have the team miss their very first event.
Yeah, well, that is not good. We're in spot of bother, yeah.
Pretty much the clutch is gone. First day on the road, halfway to our first event in Victoria, so not a very good start.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go grab some food and we'll sort it out. So I've just gotten, oh, that guy might be open. Well, I'll go see the mechanic across the road and see if he's got a number on his house.
With the mechanic closed for the day, the guys manage to limp the camper to a campsite where they can find someone to get it fixed.
How's it going? So, I would have driven forward, but I got a blown clutch, so I might have to get you to show me where I got to go first, so that I don't have to try to get going again.
Can you reverse?
I can try.
He's got a broken clutch. He just wants to keep moving.
Oh, we want a place for the night.
Oh, we're going to flood, so we can't stay here. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Evacuating the caravan park because of the floods, because they think this river's going to flood at 6 a.m. in the morning. We don't want to go anywhere else because we don't know if the van's going to get anywhere else. So we're just going to stay here anyway and hope that the water doesn't rise up too far.
With the van unable to drive anywhere else, the crew needs power and are taking a big risk parking next to the bank that's scheduled to break overnight.
Pretty interesting day so far. We just got into Gundagai and it looks like we've blown a clutch, so we're waiting for the NRMA to come down.
Well, the river did break the bank, but they're up eating breakfast in the van. Definitely a good sign.
So we've woken up this morning and the log that I was standing on yesterday was about 4 or 5 metres from the water, and now it's about 30 or 40 centimetres from it.
They escape the rising waters, and still with some van issues, they do their best to make it to the first event.
Windmill.
The camper van literally rolled down to our first event, but we've made it.
Hello, go away.
Wake up, guys. It's race day.
Just trying to make enough room to make some coffee.
Sort of only got coffee this morning because the van broke down and we weren't able to go shopping yesterday, so for breakfast I'll probably just have coffee and a goo. It's not ideal, but
That's sort of all we've got. Or I can have a can of tuna with coffee, but I don't really feel like running on tuna, so...
Tuna and peanut butter. That's it.
Waking up the morning of our first event for the Search4hurt series, drizzling rain. And we have an obstacle course race. Weather doesn't get much better for this.
All the other obstacles in the tough bloke challenge.
So the mud that they make, why it takes so long is because when you actually hop out, it's just really, really heavy and super sticky. So when you hop out, you're like 7 or 8 kilos heavier, and then you've got to try to shrug the mud off you to get up the next bit of the course. Like when you got loose clothing, it just drags you down big style.
Matt catches up with Gary Fairbrother from Maximum Adventure to see what the Tough Bloke is all about.
What's Tough Bloke?
Sure, Tough Bloke is basically a 6-kilometre obstacle course. They do everything from mud pits to river crossings and even Hell's Gate, which is our signature obstacle. Definitely the toughest on the course.
Matt actually won the Tough Bloke Challenge last year, so he's out again to test his strength and stamina.
Do you want to jump in front of us because you're going to smash us anyway?
Seconds now until the start of the race. It's a timed event, so we'll see how he fares at the end.
Person to go, whereas now he's hanging back a little bit, so I'm worried that other people are going to hold him up on the obstacles. As long as he comes over the finish line not injured, I'll be happy.
Matt shows how the infamous Hell's Gate should be done before crossing the finishing line.
Watch this man go around. You might also want to check out his exploits on Search4hurt.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
How was that?
Yeah, the wall was about 12 foot. Just couldn't get over it.
With the time, I think he's going to be right up there, but he said one of the walls was about 12 foot, and so the guys were waiting and helping each other over, which was they didn't have last year. So just because he was at the back of the elites, if he got held up, it could have put a minute or two onto his time, but...
Do you know his time now?
I don't know yet. I might go and ask, actually.
We find out Matt's time was only a mere 20 seconds behind first place. So with Matt's race finished and him done for the morning, Elyse heads out to have some fun, because it's only fair if she hurts too.
All right, the one I'm dreading is the big rope at the end. I just don't want to fall on my butt. just didn't have to skip it. I got there in the end. But
did you beat your husband's score on time?
I wish. I'd be, I think, an Olympian if I could beat his score.
So just hopped on the bike to try to recover from the Victorian tough bloke today, but not only just to spin the legs out, but also to get ready. It's a big 4 months coming up with a lot of endurance events, and I just can't, keep running. And a few of my events are bike, so hop on the bike for about an hour on the trainer and stay out of the wet.
I thought Matt might have been a little bit disappointed with his time, because when I woke up Sunday morning when we should be getting ready to go, he wasn't there.
Here we are, sleeping away in the van, thinking we're going to head home from the Tough Bloke Challenge. About 7 a.m. in the morning, and I get a tap on my shoulder. Psst, hey Milo. It was Matt Murphy. I'm like, what are you doing? He's going, I want to race again. I want to beat my time from yesterday. I'm like, I thought we were going, and he's going, no, I need to do it. And I'm thinking, wow, what kind of a job have I got ahead of me? So we did it.
And then I was pretty sure I knew where he would be.
Hey, up the ladder! Oh, you know this one, I saw you yesterday.
It is, but he absolutely flies. Well done, Mr. Murphy. I think that's the 12th time he's won this event. So little does he know he's just qualified for the one.
He got the best time. It's fun hanging out with a crazy dude like Matt.
I feel that I had a little bit of unfinished business out there, but seeing that I already knew the course and how wet it was and that wasn't really right to register again, so we didn't make it official. Mud everywhere. Can you check if hot water's coming out the sink, please? No?
No, not yet.
Okay. Must be on the gas. Did anyone turn the gas off?
Hot water's not working, so I feel sorry for him having to have a cold shower.
After all the hype of the race, I guess that the team forgot that the camper doesn't fix itself.
There's nothing to fix.
It's like 4 days in, and we've had nothing but problem after problem after problem, so yeah, a bit tired to be over it right now.
Next time on Search for Her, we have a CrossFit special to train with Australia's own #1 CrossFit champion, Chad McCabe.
This guy's strong.
You're also going to see a different side of Matt, delivering expert advice to help Chad achieve his 9th ranking in last year's World CrossFit Games.